I need 2 bottles of Sauvignon Blanc, 2 bottles of Brunello di Montalcino. Okay, do you have any idea what brand? Yeah, I like this brand, XYZ brand. Do you know what vintage you want? No? Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 bottles. And get ready for some tough love. Tough love is sometimes the only way I can go. Hi, my name is Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and a senior wine and spirit specialist here at ABC Fine Wine Spirits in our brand new location in North Miami Beach, Florida. We've talked about vintage, and yet it just doesn't make a difference. I spend time with guests and it doesn't make a difference. They still shop by either grape or brand name recognition, and they will order online, they will order 2 bottles of the wine, and they really think that it doesn't make a difference until sometimes you teach them tough love when they can taste the difference of a wine they've been drinking 1 year and buying and buying and buying and buying, and then all of a sudden they get a bottle from a completely different year and it doesn't taste anything like the bottle, and they blame it that there's something wrong with their wine. So I use a technique called tough love, and I hate to do that, but we do it with our children, and people sometimes, their method of learning, you try every method to point it out, and the only way that gets it when they see it with their eyes and their tough love. For an example, on the Sauvignon Blanc, it's been very popular for my friends Annette Bergevin and Amber Lane of Bergevin Lane in Walla Walla Valley. They make a delicious Sauvignon Blanc called the Linen Sauvignon Blanc. And a lot of people were buying, and they loved it, and I loved it too. The 2016 vintage was not 100% Sauvignon Blanc. We've talked about the 75% rule before, how only 75% of the grape has to be in the bottle. They were putting something like 89% Sauvignon Blanc. I think there might have been some Marsanne, but I know there was definitely Viognier blended into the wine. More importantly, they also decided, even though it was stainless steel fermented, they finished it for a couple of months before bottling in a little bit of oak, not to give an oaky flavor, but to soften up the acidity. Now, on the 2017, I got confirmed from the winemaker Dave Harvey and from Annette Bergevin that it was a completely, because I knew on the taste it was completely different, a whole different flavor profile of tea, of citrus, and more stronger acidity, more lighter, more crisper fruit. And I knew there was no oak. I detected no oak whatsoever on the palate or on the nose or on the taste. And the 2017 I found out was not 89% Sauvignon Blanc, it was 100% Sauvignon Blanc, and the oak that they put in there was no oak. It was 100% stainless steel fermented. And now the customers who come in there, and I tell them, and they taste it in my tasting taps. I have the 2017 and I have the 16 to take, and they say, I want 2 bottles of what I just tasted. You want 2 bottles? And I will come up to them with this. I will grab 2 bottles out of the refrigerator, and I will say, okay, here are your 2 bottles of Linen Sauvignon Blanc. Are you happy? Oh, thank you so much, Larry. Thank you. Are you sure you want to take a look at the bottle? Because if I called you and said, give me 2 bottles of Linen Sauvignon Blanc, would you walk out of the store if the team member or the sommelier or wine and spirit specialist gave you this? Yeah, I don't see. They started looking all over the bottle. I don't see. And I said, really? One on the back of the label is a 2016, which is the one that you thought was different, but the one that you liked was the 2017. And you would have walked out with not the 2 bottles of wine that you wanted, but 2 completely different wine, even though the names that they go, oh my God. And then it sinks in, and from that point on, they walk in this door and they go, do you have 2 bottles of the 2017 Linen Sauvignon Blanc? Then it sinks in, and then I know I've done my job. When they finally use a number first and not the brand name or not the brand. Oh, do you have this brand? Do you have Hart and McGarry? Do you have Bergevin Lane? Do you have La Gerla? Do you have Pajarino and Chianti? Do you give me a good Rufino Chianti? They don't know what year. They don't care. On the high end too. Do you have Camus? Well, I have 7 years of it. Which one do you like? Give me the cheapest one. So they don't realize how the year is so important to be, but they learn it when you do a little tough love. So just coming in right now. You like La Giurla. You know, I've written articles about La Giurla last week, and I love the Brunello di Montalcino. As you know, Brunello has to age for 5 years, 3 years in Slovenian large oak cask, 2 years in the bottle before they release it. Well, it's 2018, so we just got the release of the 2013, which I haven't tasted yet, but I heard are just phenomenal, and I know the reviewers have said the same, but yet what I have to sample and what I've been drinking is the 2012, which is an amazing vintage and an amazing wine. Even the alcohol is different. It's 14% on the 2012, and maybe it was a little cooler year because on 2013 it was only 13.5% alcohol, which is really odd for Brunello. I haven't tasted it yet, I can't give my opinion, but if you were looking, you wouldn't want to walk into a store and just say, La Giurla, give me 2 bottles of La Giurla, give me a case of La Giurla, mix and match if we didn't have a stacker of it, because you might wind up with a vertical, an entire 5 different bottles of wine from the same brand that you order if you didn't use the vintage that you want. Here are the 2 bottles. Let's see if you can see on the very front. I'm going to hold this close to the camera as I can. 2012 La Giurla Brunello di Montalcino, 14% alcohol, and just came in today. Just a new container came into our imported Nati Galati, the 2013. If you walked out with these and you told somebody just pick me up 2 bottles of La Giurla, you just bought not 2 bad bottles of wine, but 2 completely different tasting bottles of wine because it's from 2 different years. Capiche? I know, I don't want to be a strict parent like to make you take a time out. That's the next thing, I'll make you take a time out. Remember, for more information about these wine, and sometimes on our website, we don't list the vintage either, so call your local store or contact ABC if you're ordering online, on web, to deliver to a store locally, or even a delivery service that you use, Shipt, Instacart, whatever. Make sure you text a driver that you want a specific vintage of that brand if you know which one you had the last time, so you don't wind up with 3 different tastes of wine. Check on abcfws.com, that's our website, or contact me at my blog. By just following my blog, you'll have many ways to contact me. Remember, wine, I'm not trying to be for snobs, because it's not for snobs, it's for everyday people like you and me, but everyday people sometimes need some tough love.